Hello everyone, my name is Azatru. How are you? And welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 news update video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you info about a new update to the game, a leaker talks about Ahsoka being made, plus some smaller bits of news about Battlefront 2. But the first piece of news I have for you today is that DICE have implemented a server-side update to the game which changes Vader's damage reduction when choking to 20%. In the hotfix last week, it was mistakenly changed from 75 to 80% instead of 20. Originally, this change was not going to happen until next week's main patch for February, which includes Original Trilogy for co-op. But DICE have gone above and beyond, and instead of waiting, they've managed to force this out without any negative effects much sooner. Speaking of the February update, which does release in the first half of next week, Ben was asked, CT when? He said next week. The update is a small one, so there's no need to release multiple community transmissions. The main piece of content is going to be the Original Trilogy era coming to co-op. We don't know what maps are coming other than Death Star 2, because next month, in March, Scarif will be coming to co-op as well as Supremacy. If I had to give an educated guess when we could see the patch notes and the update, I would say Monday for the patch notes and community transmission, and then Wednesday being the update if they do stick to Wednesdays like they did throughout most of last year. Ben also stated, there are various things DICE are working on that we have been heavily requesting, and those will be revealed when the timing is right. Instant action is going to be getting some improvements according to Ben. We don't know when these improvements will come or what they are just yet. He also stated they are looking at potentially moving or tweaking the chat UI for PC. A question I'm asked daily by some of you is, will the field of view slider come to console? And Ben responded today by saying nothing is currently planned. This piece of info is a bit of a weird tidbit, but there is actually going to be a Battlefront hooded Yoda pop figure coming out, as well as a Knights of the Old Republic Darth Malak and Revan, which is awesome. The actual product name for the hooded Yoda pop figure in store systems is Battlefront because of the skin, which is really crazy. Okay, so let's get into that minor Ahsoka non-leak, I would call it. So Bespin Bulletin, who have been extremely reliable in the past, especially with Episode 9 leaks, posted yesterday on Instagram. They've got some information about the upcoming EA Star Wars titles. The people who gave them Episode 9 leaks are different to the ones giving them the Battlefront 3 leaks, which I have here, and I believe these are extremely out of date, so I just wanted to get ahead of any clickbait and say these are probably either misleading, wrong, or well out of date. The first bit of information is that there will be a game coming from EA Motive, probably the Vancouver studio, at the end of next year. Now, this isn't a huge revelation, given there would be a Star Wars game coming out April next year and the start of 2022, but EA would never release a Star Wars game early 2022 or early 2021. It would most likely be in the November like the other games of 2021. They mentioned Battlefront 3 by saying that last year they heard the team is kicking around some ideas, but nothing was in motion to be made. And this is basically what Jason Ward of Making Star Wars heard towards the start of last year. But since then, Dennis, as well as Ben, have come out and said publicly Battlefront 2 is the focus, and it seems like it's not going to be slowing down. Battlefront 3 is out of the picture for quite some time. Please don't read into this as Battlefront 3 is coming anytime soon, or they are working on it right now, because the information we have from EA themselves is that they are not working on it, it won't be happening, or at least for quite some time. So bringing this back to Ahsoka before clickbait starts appearing, someone asked Bespin Bulletin, have you heard anything about Ahsoka? And they said this might be outdated information, but last year I heard they were working on Ahsoka and Ventress. Haven't heard anything on those in a long time. Now, some info, the reputable leaker, before he stopped speaking to the community because his friend at DICE probably left the studio, he claimed Ahsoka was 2 to 3 months away at the time of him making a Reddit post, and that was early last year. If Ahsoka was in the pipeline, things have changed drastically, and we've seen them focus more on other parts of the game, and maybe they've just shifted Ahsoka and Ventress to later this year to tie in with the end of the Clone Wars Season 7, which is airing this week. The season finale will be in April, so it gives them plenty of time to work on Clone Wars content after they finish working on Scarif. That is all of the Battlefront news for now. Please let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on anything I've discussed in this video, and please do subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss any Battlefront 2 news updates from me. And if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and check out any of the 2 previous videos on screen if you did miss them, and I shall see you in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.